Counting on alum Amy Duggar King has been making headlines following the recent lawsuit of her husband Dylan. She already mentioned the closure of their restaurant several weeks ago. But she never acknowledged her husband's inability to pay rent for their restaurant, which ultimately led to massive punishments. Dylan reportedly fought back against the unfair judgment he faced. But it seems he only made things worse. Keep reading to see his new punishment. Dylan recently caught the attention of many after documents surfaced showing his response to his $236 punishment. The Counting on alum was asked to pay such an amount for missing his second payment to settle his unpaid rent. He explained, "It is admitted that the agreement was signed, and the first payment was made. However, the remaining allegations are denied and payment has been offered, asking the court to reconsider its ruling." Dylan signed a settlement agreement requiring him to pay 2 settlements for his unpaid rent. He couldn't pay the second part of the settlement, which resulted in the plaintiffs seeking certain damages, interest, and fees. Dylan King's attempt to fight back amid his $236 punishment immediately backfired. According to reports, Dylan's is now being asked to pay $156 for his unpaid rent after questioning his $236 fee. He said certain payments were not made to the plaintiff, but failure for such payments to be tendered was after good faith attempts were made to pay and to communicate with the plaintiff. It seems Dylan is now having issues talking it out with the plaintiffs, and not being able to fulfill the payments in time is only making things worse for him. Amy Duggar King recently took to social media to share a new picture with her husband. The Counting on alums can be seen playing Uno with their son. Dylan showed a big smile to the cameras, seemingly showing no signs of stress amid his lawsuit. Meanwhile, Amy previously shared that she chopped off her hair and remains silent about their legal troubles. Dylan King, the husband of Amy Duggar, finds himself entangled in yet another legal battle, this time for defending himself in a situation that many would argue warranted his reaction. The Duggars, long known for their strict religious upbringing and reality TV fame, have often been at the center of controversy. However, Amy, the outspoken cousin of the infamous Duggar family, has always been a bit of a rebel, standing apart from the ultra-conservative beliefs of her relatives. Now, with her husband facing legal trouble for what some are calling self-defense, the question arises, when does fighting back become a crime, and how does the justice system navigate the fine line between defense and aggression? A history of defiance. Amy Duggar has always been the black sheep of the Duggar family. Unlike her ultra-conservative cousins, Amy embraced a more mainstream lifestyle, one that included modern fashion, secular music, and a less rigid approach to relationships. Her husband Dylan King shares her independent spirit. Together, they have forged a life separate from the Duggar name, focusing on their business endeavors and their own version of faith-based living. Dylan has made headlines before for standing his ground, particularly when it comes to protecting his family. Whether it's speaking out against toxic influences or handling business disputes with unwavering determination, he has a reputation for being assertive. But now that very trait has landed him in legal trouble, the incident that sparked the legal battle. Reports indicate that Dylan King was involved in a physical altercation that has led to criminal charges. While details remain scarce, sources suggest that King was confronted by an individual who was either threatening or directly attacking him. Witnesses claim that Dylan acted in self-defense, pushing back against the aggressor in what he believed was a justified response. However, the authorities saw it differently. Following the altercation, police arrived at the scene and assessed the situation. Despite King's insistence that he was merely defending himself, law enforcement deemed his actions excessive, leading to his arrest and subsequent legal troubles. A legal system under scrutiny. Dylan's case raises an important question: when does self-defense cross the line into criminal behavior? In many states, the law recognizes a person's right to defend themselves, particularly in situations where they feel threatened. However, the interpretation of these laws can vary widely. In some jurisdictions, the concept of stand your ground protects individuals who use force in self-defense, even if they have the opportunity to retreat. In others, there is a legal obligation to de-escalate a situation before resorting to physical measures. Dylan's case appears to fall into a gray area, one where intent, perception, and force are all being scrutinized. Legal experts suggest that his fate may depend on key factors such as whether he was genuinely in danger if he used excessive force beyond what was necessary, the credibility of witness testimonies, the aggressor's actions leading up to the fight, public reaction, and support for Dylan. Amy Duggar has never shied away from controversy, and she certainly isn't staying silent now. In a series of social media posts, she has passionately defended her husband, insisting that he was unfairly targeted. Her followers, many of whom admire her outspoken nature, have rallied behind Dylan, expressing frustration with what they see as a flawed justice system. Supporters argue that Dylan should not be penalized for protecting himself, pointing out that self-defense should be a fundamental right. Others believe that this incident is being blown out of proportion simply because of the Duggar name, suggesting that the media and legal system alike are eager to scrutinize anyone connected to the family, even if they've distanced themselves from its controversies. However, not everyone is on Dylan's side. Critics argue that physical confrontations should be avoided whenever possible, and that escalation only leads to more trouble. Some believe that, regardless of intent, Dylan's response may have been too aggressive, and that alternative methods of conflict resolution should have been considered. The broader implications. Beyond the specifics of Dylan's case, this incident speaks to larger societal debates about self-defense, personal rights, and how the justice system interprets violent encounters in an age where surveillance footage, social media, and public perception all play a role in shaping narratives. Cases like Dylan's can quickly become battlegrounds for larger ideological debates. Some see his situation as an example of how self-defense laws can be unfairly applied, while others view it as a cautionary tale about the consequences of confrontation. Additionally, this case brings renewed attention to the Duggar name. While Amy has tried to carve out her own path separate from her family's controversies, especially in light of Josh Duggar's well-documented legal troubles, Dylan's situation inevitably pulls them back into the public eye. The media frenzy surrounding any Duggar-related scandal ensures that this case won't be forgotten anytime soon. What's next for Dylan King? As Dylan prepares to face the legal system, the outcome remains uncertain. His legal team is likely to argue that he acted within his rights, citing self-defense laws as the foundation of their case. However, prosecutors may attempt to prove that his actions went beyond reasonable force, making it a challenging battle ahead. Amy has vowed to stand by her husband throughout the process, continuing to speak out against what she perceives as an unfair legal ordeal. Meanwhile, Dylan himself has remained relatively quiet, likely following legal advice to avoid public statements that could be used against him in court. One thing is certain: this case will have lasting implications for the King family, regardless of the outcome. If found guilty, Dylan could face fines, probation, or even jail time. If acquitted, it may set a precedent for how similar cases are handled in the future. Final thoughts: a family tested. Amy Duggar and Dylan King have always prided themselves on standing apart from the infamous Duggar legacy, but this legal battle is proving to be one of their toughest challenges yet. While they've worked hard to build a life of independence and authenticity, this case serves as a stark reminder that no one, regardless of their name or intentions, is immune to the complexities of the legal system. For now, all eyes remain on the courtroom, where Dylan's fate will ultimately be decided. But one thing is clear: whether in victory or defeat, Amy and Dylan will continue to fight back, both in the legal arena and in the court of public opinion. If you are looking for more Duggar family news, stay tuned by subscribing and following our channel for all your updates.